The Time Traveler's Dilemma. In the year 2145, humanity had finally unlocked the secret of time travel. Dr. Olivia Carter, one of the most brilliant physicists of her time, stood in front of her creation, a sleek, transparent chamber humming with an otherworldly energy. This was the moment she had dedicated her entire life to, the chance to prove that time could be traversed. Yet, despite the excitement, her hands trembled as she reached for the controls. The implications of her mission were staggering. Olivia's goal wasn't just scientific exploration. She had a deeply personal reason for venturing into the past. Years ago, her younger brother, Jake, had died in a tragic accident when they were both children. It was a loss that had haunted her every day, pushing her to pursue the idea that time was not as linear as people believed. Now, standing on the brink of changing history, Olivia wrestled with the ethical consequences of her decision. As the chamber sealed around her and the countdown began, Olivia replayed the final moments of Jake's life in her mind. He was just 9 years old, full of energy and curiosity. If she could prevent his death, she could give him the future he deserved. But she also knew the dangers of altering time. Something as simple as saving one life could ripple out and change the course of history in unforeseen ways. The chamber pulsed with light, and in a flash, Olivia was no longer in her lab. She stepped out into the summer of 2092, the day of Jake's accident. The sun was shining, and she could hear the distant laughter of children playing in the park where it had all happened. Her heart raced as she approached the familiar scene. There he was, Jake, running joyfully ahead, oblivious to the danger that awaited him. Olivia spotted the exact spot where the accident would occur, where Jake would chase a ball into the street, right in front of an oncoming car. Her instincts screamed at her to rush forward, to pull him back, but she froze. She remembered the rules she had learned about time travel. Interference could have catastrophic effects. Yet, the image of her brother's lifeless body flashed in her mind. Time seemed to slow as the ball bounced toward the street, Jake's small legs sprinting after it. Olivia's heart pounded in her chest. She knew she shouldn't interfere, but the pain of losing him overwhelmed her. With a sudden burst of adrenaline, she shouted, "Jake, stop!" Her brother froze mid-step, turning to face her. For a moment, Olivia thought she had succeeded. She exhaled, relief washing over her. But in that split second, something else happened. Jake tripped over the curb, falling backward onto the sidewalk, hitting his head. She rushed over, but it was too late. The fall had caused a fatal injury, just as irreversible as the original accident. Olivia fell to her knees, the weight of her failure crashing down on her. She had come here to save her brother, but in trying to change the past, she had inadvertently sealed his fate once again. Worse, she had no idea how this small change would affect the future. She returned to the time chamber, shattered. Back in her lab, the world seemed eerily unchanged, but Olivia knew that time, once altered, was unpredictable. She opened the door to her office, only to find a stranger sitting at her desk, a woman who looked just like her, but wasn't her. In this altered timeline, Olivia Carter no longer existed. Her heart sank as she realized the gravity of her actions. By attempting to save her brother, she had erased herself from time. And so, the paradox became clear. Some events, no matter how painful, were meant to be. And in trying to rewrite the past, She had lost not only her brother, but her very place in history. The cost of playing with time was too great, and Olivia had learned it the hardest way possible. With no way to reverse what had been done, she faded into the background of her own creation, a ghost in time, forever lost in the choices she could never undo.